Hello everyone, how's it going? So before we begin, I'd just like to apologise. Recently I haven't been uploading that much. Reason for this is that I've been fairly busy. However, stay tuned because there will be plenty more videos coming fairly soon. Okay? Right, to begin, I would like to explain what we are doing. Today's video, as you have already realised, will be totally in English. The series that we are starting today is called Just in English. And what this will do, it will hopefully give you an opportunity to listen to more English being spoken. All the videos in this series will be me talking about a topic just in English, as the name suggests. Okay? So today's topic, to begin this new series, I will be talking about a few things that I love about Brazil. Things which are very different from England, things which are very different from where I come from. So, the things that I really love about Brazil, there are so many, so where do I begin? Let's begin with the people. The people of Brazil are the thing that are most important to me. The people are very happy, are very friendly, are always very caring and very generous. I'm not saying that in England there are no friendly or kind people, but just the way that the people talk to you, just the way that the people are very affectionate and passionate is a very different way of being to how the people are in England. Another thing which really interests me and which I love about Brazil is Brazil's culture. England has got a fascinating culture as well, but Brazil's culture is very, very diverse, something which I find truly incredible. I also find Brazil's history to be very, very interesting. Brazil is still a very young country, but it is a very vibrant, a very colourful country, and there are just so many areas and so many regions in Brazil which I do not know much about, and because they are so different to the area which I am familiar with, the area of Minas Gerais. Things which are also very cultural for Brazil and Brazilians are things like the food, the music, just all these small things which people do not think about, which to me are totally new and totally different. The music I find fascinating because it shows a lot about the happiness and the passion of the people. The food that I have eaten here so far is just delicious, and each region has its own food, has its own dishes, which in England, I'm not saying that English food is bad necessarily, but Brazil has a lot of diverse dishes and each region has its own dishes and is famous for having certain things within its cuisine. In England, we don't necessarily have this diversity, and it's really fascinating to me to come to Brazil and see all these different types of dishes, as well, of course, as having churrasco, having the correct weather for churrasco, and just having such delicious meat, which we unfortunately do not have in England. Another thing which I love about Brazil is how important family is for anyone. I mean, my situation currently is that I am in a relationship with a Brazilian woman, and she is amazing, of course. However, one thing which strikes me, which is very different to how things work in England, is how close everyone is with their family. I have come to Brazil a few times now. I'm currently living in Brazil, and just how close people are with their family. I'm really close to her family. I see her siblings, I see her mum, I even see more distant relatives such as aunties and cousins almost every day, and it's always very nice to know that there is someone that cares about you. And this, I'm not saying that my English family does not care about me, but the relationship I have with my family in England, especially more distant relatives, is not quite as close. I do not see them as often, even when I am in England. And to me, this sense of being in a Brazilian family, a very close family, is something which is very new to me, but which I enjoy tremendously. I think it is very important, and I think it is very, very good. And one final thing which I would like to talk about, which I truly love about Brazil, are the places. And Brazil is a huge country, and it is, compared to England, very empty. There are lots of regions, there are lots of areas which are totally empty, which does not exist in England. In England, you can drive and you will see a village every 10 minutes. In Brazil, firstly, you have this amazing nature. You can drive through the Brazilian countryside, and Minas, where I live currently, is a mountainous region. There are lots of mountains, and you drive from one town to another, and you just see these amazing views. And it's very green and it's very colourful, and you see all this wildlife. And to me, it's fascinating because it's just something that is very different to what I'm used to. The other thing that I would like to talk about in regards to places in Brazil are the towns, are the way that the towns have been built, especially here in Minas, which is the area that I know. You have these historical buildings, you have these lovely churches, you have these beautiful statues and things which have been created, these artists which have created paintings or statues or sculptures, and to me they're just fascinating. The houses and the buildings are very different to the buildings that you see in Europe. Here the buildings are very colourful. Here the buildings are quite open because, of course, in Europe the winters are very, very cold, and so there are no buildings which are very open. Whereas here you have all these balconies, you have all these churrasco areas on top of the buildings, which to me is amazing. Maybe it's not amazing to you Brazilians because you've grown up with this, but to me, who has just lived in Brazil for a few months now and has been coming to Brazil for a few years, these things are fascinating, and they just fit in perfectly with this very happy, with this very warm culture. Okay, do you think I'm missing anything? If you think that I'm missing anything, if you can give me any more tips of what I need to experience in Brazil, please tell me down in the comments. If you want us to do it in English, please do. If you feel more comfortable doing it in Portuguese, do that, that's fine. We will be having some more videos in which I will be speaking English, so I hope you tune in next time. And yeah, that's all for now, guys. I hope to see you again soon. Okay, so there's only one thing left for me to say. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.